This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. Today, I'm very lucky to be joined by, once again, Jono Carroll. So, Jono, we last spoke in February, and now it's November. How have you been in that time?
Mate, great. Very good. I've had a baby since then. I've I've won a massive big fight, like a world title eliminator, so I'm in a massive position in that way. I fought on a fucking crazy show in Miami. That weirdest show I've ever been involved in. Like it was had 50 Cent commentating, fucking Donald Trump commentating. It was like one of them weird dreams, you know, like if you had a nightmare or a dream, whatever way you want to look at it, and you wake up and tell somebody and they're like, that is fucking stupid. It was one of them nights. Yeah, mate. And now I'm actually currently over here in Vegas sparring Devin Haney for his upcoming fight against Jojo Diaz. So mate, it's been a roller coaster, but it's been fun. It's been a good journey, my brother.
It's a mad life.
The mad life. Do you know what? I'm actually contemplating moving to Dubai at the minute as well. Not even contemplating. I more likely am. Like me and the missus have spoke about it. I'm probably going to move there after this fight. I'm having fight in December the 11th in the Coca-Cola factory in Dubai on a Pabellum card. And I think I'm going to stay over there and actually make the move, transition over there with the whole family and whatnot from December onwards. So, yeah, mate, just making boss moves always.
So if I ever go on holiday to Dubai, I've got a place to stay then, basically.
Of course, my brother. You're always welcome in the maid's room.
Limey. Normally I start off a point you just talked about, but we'll go back all the way back to when you fought Annie Vences or Vinicius, how you pronounce his name, by Donald Trump and 50 Cent to a commentating. Did you get a chance to talk to Donald Trump or 50 Cent at all?
No, he had bleeding mad security up the ass in the place. Like it was all SAS, is that what it is? They were all over the place, man. He had mad security all over the place. The place getting swept for bombs before we went in. Everything, the whole show went on late because the place was getting swept for bombs. It was mad. No, I didn't get near him. I could see him from where I was, but he had security all around him. Nobody was getting near him, you know what I mean?
What about 50 Cent? Because wasn't he on the kind of downstairs bit near the ring?
50 Cent was ringside. Like I spoke to 50 Cent and gave little 50 Cent a little blade and fist pump and whatnot. As soon as I got in the ring, I didn't know 50 Cent was going to be there. And I got into the ring and I was like dancing around the ring. It was only that I had a bleeding big sombrero on. So like as I was getting in the ring, I was just hoping it didn't fall off. So I was like holding on and I jumped under the ropes. And as I'm like halfway under the ropes, I'm like, I see him 50 Cent out of the corner of my eye. I was like, that's fucking 50 Cent. I was like, my man leaned out of the ropes, gave me a little fist bump and all. Thinking, fuck, man, it was crazy. Couldn't believe it. Like, and even Sean Porter is a legend as well. I really like Sean Porter. Very beautiful guy, very down to earth. He was commentating on the fight too. So it was mad. I just seen the two of them like sitting beside each other. I was like, wow, this is crazy. You know what I mean? It was a mad event. It was great to be a part of. It was the weirdest thing. It wasn't like a real boxing event. It was like the weirdest event I've ever been at. But it was super cool. Like it was, number one, the hotel we were staying in was like a whopper hotel. You want to see the views from my balcony, man. I was put up like royalty. It was phenomenal. One thing what I will say about Triller is that they got money to burn. Like they were pumping money into that venue. You know what I mean? Into where we were staying, into the place, getting the likes of 50 Cent rocking up. And then they had a lot of cool people performing, like even artists performing on stage before we went out to fight. It was brilliant to be a part of, to be honest. It was cool, mate, yeah. Deadly.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience in a way then. But your fight was the only actual real boxing fight on the whole card. The rest of them exhibition fights. Well, if you just touch on your fight, I know there's so much other stuff on this kind of fight card to talk about, but your fight was kind of, the book, I checked the odds beforehand, and the bookies had it exactly 50-50. What was the fight like to be a part of?
It was amazing, and it was a 50-50 fight. You know, it was one of those fights where one of us was going on to win world titles or going on to fight for world titles, and the other one was staying stagnant and going back down the ladder a little bit, you know what I mean? Because boxing is just one of them games. It's all about snakes and ladders, man. It's a crazy sport that we're in, you know? So we were both at that stage in our career. he was a little bit more experienced in having like more fights and stuff like that. But we were both quite experienced fighters. And it was a great fight. It was a fucking chess match, you know. It wasn't just like, oh, whoever was fitter or stronger was going to win the fight. Like, we really had to we were constantly trying to outthink each other, and it was an interesting fight. I enjoyed it, you know. It was I had to overcome a bit of adversity as well with the cut. Like, I've had way worse cuts in my career, but usually a cut like cuts and kind of cuts down the side of your face. This one was only the smallest little nick here, but it was because it was so small. It was only dripping into my eye, so it was a nightmare, to be honest. It was one of them, like, I wouldn't have minded if the fight had been stopped on the cut, because I genuinely couldn't see shit, man. So it was real frustrating in like the 7th and 8th round, I think it was. He was hitting me with silly shots, but it was more that my concentration was completely off because of the cut. It was really frustrating because I felt like I was gaining a nice little lead up to that point, and then he won them 2 rounds. I was like, oh. So I knew I had to go back out then and smash the last 2 rounds, which I did. And I showed that bit more hunger and determination, the will to win. And sometimes that's just what wins you the fight, you know. So it was a great show. It's great to be part of. And I think our fight made the bleeding show as well, because it was the only real boxing match on the fight, you know, on the show.
Yeah, like I was saying, like, if your fight there was on a matchroom event or on a top ranked show, maybe less people might be talking about it, because I've been other fights to talk about. But when you got your only real boxing fight, obviously you had Evander Holyfield and Victor Belfort, which no one would be a big fan of. But when you had your fight on it, and which was a really good fight, everyone was talking about it. And of course, now you're number 1 for the WBA belt and the champion. Yeah. I might not be able to pronounce his surname. Is Roger Guetzes? Is that how you say his name?
I don't know. Don't know how to say it either. People keep saying to me, like, I'm number like 2 right now, but he's fighting number 1 like soon and blah blah. And they're like, who is the champion WBA? And like, don't know his name, mate, because I can't pronounce that either, so I'm not even going to attempt it.
Do you know anything about him?
Yeah, I watched one of his fights before. He's tough and strong. He's a very durable guy. He's a champion. He's fucking world champion. You don't get to that stage, so like he's obviously good. But I just actually find that his style would suit me. His style would be great because he's a come forward kind of aggressive fighter. I love those type of fights. I hate when I have to chase somebody. That's when I'm actually sometimes at my worst, is when I'm the one having to chase the fight and come forward. Because I've been a southpaw. I'm a natural counter puncher, but a lot of my fights have been against counter punchers, southpaws, that I've always had problems with, even in my amateur days. So it's a bit frustrating when I'm like, the only 2 losses I have is southpaws, counter punchers, fuckers. And it was the same in the amateurs. I used to hate fighting southpaws, you know. But I'm getting used to it. I'm getting there, slowly but surely.
Of course, I've got the rankings up here. So number 1 is Chris Colbert, and then you're number 2. And so Chris Colbert will really fight him. So let's talk about what you're doing now in Vegas. How many times have you been to Vegas then?
This is my first time.
Oh, really?
First time. Yeah, well, first time. Like, I've never been to America before, other than the times that I fought. Like, I was only in America when I fought Devin Farmer.
Do you think that's quite an experience for you, Jono? Going to America one time and not fighting, so you kind of see the atmosphere, how it is, what's it like. So it's not a kind of shock to the system when you go over and fight there.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, not yes and no. Like, it's because I technically am fighting. I'm fighting every bleeding second day now. It's not like just one fight. You know, like, I'm sparring every second day. I'm sparring Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, like, as much as, I understand what you're saying and where you're coming from with that question, but no, because, like, I'm still here on the grind. And the days that I'm not sparring, I'm still in the gym training twice a day, because I have my own fight in like less than 4 weeks. So, like, yeah and no. Like I'm in Vegas, man, and I'm walking past all these burger places and nice Mexican places and everything, and I can't eat any of it, you know, that way. So I'm still cooking for myself. So yeah and no.
You out there with Coach Albert as well?
No, I'm just here by myself, Pop.
Oh, okay. And
Albert has other commitments. He has fighters fighting a week before my fight that he's taking on. So, like, he can't be coming just over here for me for sparring, you know what I mean? He took on other commitments as well.
I'm sure he wanted to. I bet you hear much rather go to Vegas, though.
Yeah. after we fought in Miami, he came out to Vegas and he asked me to come with him then. And I was like, nah, man, I might have been in Mexico for like 4 weeks. And then I had to fight in you know what I mean? So I was away from my family for like 5 weeks. I was like, I'm going home with my family, bro. Fuck that, like, you know. But I would have loved to come to Vegas with him. Like, it looked like he had a great time too. And then we could have relaxed and it would have been nicer because I would have actually been able to be out gambling. He went to a few like little nightclubs and stuff. I would have been able to enjoy Vegas, that part of Vegas a little bit more. But now I'm just here on the grind training. I'm sure he would love him to be out here at the minute. But we didn't, this all came about last minute. You know, like I got a call last week and was like on Thursday and was like, can you come? And I was like, yeah, when do you want me to come? And he's like, as soon as possible. I was like, right, like I have to get a PCR test and all. And you're going to have to give me till like Saturday, mate. And he's like, okay, if you get here Saturday, then at least you can rest Sunday and then we spar Monday. I was like, fuck it, all right, just book me the flight and book me the blade and accommodation and I'm there, mate, no problem. So this happened coming to Vegas was like last minute. So like, you know what I mean? Albert, it was like he already committed to training another guy for his fight on December the 4th or something like that, the guy is fighting. So as much as Albert would love him to be here and that we were training for my own fight, this came about so last minute. And it was more me that Albert was kind of half like hesitant on like, oh, maybe you should stay here. We're in camp ourselves. And I was just thinking, fuck that, mate. I'm getting the opportunity to go to Vegas, getting paid to be there. And I'm sparring Devin Haney, man. I'm getting the work in. Don't worry about me not getting work. Like I'm getting top quality work. I'm fucking going to Vegas, bro. You know, so I bailed. But so it was more my decision to come out here. Albert wasn't too happy with. Not that he wasn't too happy. He's always supportive. You know what I mean? Me and Albert are buddies as well as like we're good friends, and then we obviously have a work relationship as well. But yeah, like at the end of the day, fucking boxing is. I just live life to the fullest every single day. I just try to appreciate every day, and boxing is all about experiences, and it's flying me all over the world, mate. It's a fucking beautiful thing. So I ain't staying in Marbella. I've lived there for a few years. I ain't staying there. I'm getting the opportunity to get paid to come to Vegas to train with a world champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's live. I mean, shout out to Albert. I spoke to him on Instagram. He is a really nice guy. But when you put your tickets, was it business class or was it economy?
What? It was economy, bro. Fucking wish it was business class. But I'm old school. I don't care. I'm not one of them. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm a boxer at the end of the day, mate. I get paid to punch the head off people. Like, I don't need no business class. Don't be wrong. It's nice to have all that shit, but like, it will come. But if I was paying for a sparring partner to come out, I ain't booking in business class either.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. So are you sparring Devin in the Bones Adams gym in Vegas?
I don't know what gyms we're sparring in, to be honest.
Oh, have you sparred him yet, or is it happening?
Yeah, I sparred him yesterday, yeah, but I don't know what the gym's name was.
I think it's Bones Adams. That's the one he trains in. But how's it going sparring at Devin, the WBC World Lightweight?
It was deadly. I enjoyed it. It was fucking brilliant, man. Just that experience alone. He's a very good fighter. He's a good technician. But he's fighting Jojo Diaz, and Jojo Diaz promised him he's going to.
He's like a shorter southpaw, isn't he? So you're perfect sparring, isn't he?
I'm perfect sparring, and I was actually supposed to fight Jojo Diaz, believe it or not, instead of Andy Vince's or whatever his blade name is. Well, I was supposed to fight Jojo Diaz on that show, on that Thriller card. And then Jojo Diaz didn't want to be making the weight, and he ended up kind of chasing that other one at lightweight because it was for the title. But and then that's what happened there. You know what I mean? So I was actually happy to fight Jojo Diaz. I couldn't have already agreed to it. He agreed to it as well. And then he just kind of, I don't know, just didn't want to make the weight maybe, or he got better money for that other fight. I don't for Fortuna or whatever. But I don't know. But he's now in a good position. He's going to get a good payday for this one. So. Whereas I was like a bigger risk and less reward. So why would he have fought me? You know what I mean? So I understand why he went up to lightweight. Plus he always had trouble making the super featherweight, even though he was a featherweight. Like, but he struggled a little bit. So he didn't need to. He done our lightweight, and he's done well. So they bring me in to spar Devin anyway, and they wanted me to go to war with him basically because what's his name, Jojo Diaz was saying that he's going to bring the dog out in him and he's going to make sure he goes at him and this, that, and the other. So they were telling me to come forward and just try like drag him into a bit of a brawl and fight with him and be dirty or whatever. So I was like, sweet, that's what I'm good at, no problem. So we went to war with him. He was boxing and moving and he done very well. He was slick, you know. He was great at a distance, and then I'm good at closing that distance. You know what I mean? So it was a fucking back and forward. Brilliant spar, mate. You paid to watch it.
Yeah, I wish I was in Vegas. I'll be down in that gym. So I interview birds. So I'm going to Vegas next year, July or August, by myself. Interview a load of people there, and I spoke to both. Right. It's like, yeah, welcome to come to the gym. So yeah, so Jono Diaz, he was fighting this Russian at super featherweight, and he had to vacate his belt because he missed weight on the scales. I mean, he drew and then he moved up for Tuna. Anyway, I don't take too much of time, but there's one more point I do want to cover is a new Esports Boxing Club game, and you're in it. How did that kind of come around?
Nothing, they just messaged me. They just messaged me and asked me to do it. And I was like, yeah, fucking right, mate. I'd love to be in the game. Just basically said, would you like to be in the game? I was like, yeah, obviously. And yeah, they just got me over, flew me over. No, I forget. I was meant to actually do all the scanning stuff when I first got quick. And then the fight got pushed back, remember? So I never ended up doing it. And then when I went over to Sparring, I had to fight, and it was all COVID time, so shit was a bit like lockdown. But then I went over later in the year to Sparring for a fight. And then they texted me then and was like, is there any chance you can come down the road? They were only like 40 minutes away or something. So they sent like a car to get me, a limo to get me, and then fucking bring me down there, doing all the scanning shit. It was deadly, man. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being in the game, man. How mad surreal is that going to be? Being able to play yourself, that's the shit.
But then you got all those tattoos, so I'm able to scan those. They look really cool in the detail as well.
Yeah, mate. I got a few tattoos. So I don't know how. The ones see the amount of cameras they had was ridiculous. And the lads in there that are really nice. So they had so much high-tech stuff in there for that blading game. It was ridiculous. And I was only at buying a whopper camera myself. And they were saying something about lenses, all like, throw that lens out. They said, like, at one stage, I was like, what? Throw that lens? I was like, give me one of them lenses. You have fucking lenses there? I was like, give me one of them there animal lenses. Like, not these big, huge, like, lenses, like, for top quality. You're talking, like, fucking $500-600 for one of these lenses. I said, give me one of them. And they were like, oh, bro, we have a few of them there. If you want the fucking few of them, you can go into the back. We have a few that we're not using. I was like, give me 100%, mate. So they gave me like a nice big whopper lens worth a few quid that they weren't using. So I was like, deadly. The lads are sounding there, yeah. But man, yeah, I'm super excited about that game. I'm looking forward to playing myself. I hope they ranked me good.
Yeah, there's a sick. I remember because I got those DSLR cameras kind of dotted around. I got my camera here, but lenses, they're really expensive as well. That's crazy how they're kind of just throwing them away.
I don't know why they were thrown away, but yeah, it was more like, oh, we need to upgrade that one, like move that. And I was like, what do you mean upgrade that? Like, it's like, give me one of them. They're whopper. And you want to see it, man? It's unbelievable. Like you said, the lenses worth more than the cameras. You know what I mean? Them lenses are very expensive. This is a big, huge lens, like a proper yoke. So, and do you know what? I'm so spoiled. That's the word I would use. That I haven't even used it yet. I just looked at it on the camera. I haven't even used it. I have it like a year, bro. I have 2 cameras in the gap there. I don't even use any of them. Fucking.
After you and
I'm useless, bro.
Sparring, get Bill, or I think Ben Davison's down there. Get him to take a picture of you on the camera because I was taking some photos today with it, and it's crazy how much of a difference that like a proper DSLR camera has it compared to an iPhone. It makes the iPhone look terrible compared to a really good DSLR camera. But
no. And you know what? I didn't even bring my camera. That's how much I just don't care, man. I don't care about Anne. I just got to make sure I had my sparring gloves and that's it. Like, you know, I don't care about Anne, bro. I just box, I do my thing, appreciate every day, and that's it. Just live life. I mean,
living life and this.
I got my eyes. They're good enough. I see things and I remember that shit. You know, but now, to be honest, I should be probably documenting the likes of all this because I'm sure in a few years I'd appreciate to look back on it and all. But right now, I'm just living in the moment, bro. I don't care about anything, you know? Just enjoying life.
You do put a lot of kind of video, kind of story style Instagram stories. So you've got all of those kind of locked away in the bank. But since you're in the game, Boxing Club, do you get a free copy of the game?
fucking better get a free copy of the game. I'll be hitting them up for a free copy. I'm not buying one of them. I know. I don't know. I'll get a lot of my mates to buy them anyway, but I would definitely get a free copy. I haven't even, do you know what, mate? Haven't even got an Xbox, haven't got a PlayStation, I haven't got none of that.
Get Xbox.
Mate, I have 2 kids. I haven't got time to be playing games. I'm playing the game of life, bro. I ain't sitting there playing games a bit. But now that I'm going to be on a video game, best believe I will get an Xbox or a PlayStation, one or the other.
Yeah, I don't play games either, but this boxing game does look quite good. I got Xbox as well, so when the game comes out, we'll do me v you. We'll have a thing Zoom set up. We'll do that.
That sounds good. That sounds good, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the rumors are that it's be out early 2022. But so for your fight coming up, it's in Abu Dhabi. It's in Dubai, sorry, right?
Yeah, correct. Dubai.
And so it's about it's under a month away. So 11th of December. Any opponent at all?
Not well. There was our original opponent, and now he's at the kind of half pulling out, or there was something going on with him. I don't know what the story was. Maybe he was asked for too much money. I don't actually know the ins and outs. But I was only speaking to Lee, and he's the matchmaker. He rang me earlier looking for like different opponents. Now he informed me that opponent was just messing around. So they're on the hunt for another opponent now. But we did have someone in mind. So we'll see what the story is. And so nobody yet. To answer your question is no.
Yeah, that is a stressful job being a matchmaker. Lee Deaton. He's in Esports Boxing Up as well, Lee Deaton, so you can join him in that. Yeah. And that's the Sonny Edwards undercard, isn't it? Yes,
correct, my brother. Yeah.
And so where can people buy tickets from?
I just put a link up on my Instagram actually page, Jono_KK_Carroll. Follow me on Instagram. I just put a link up on my bio. I actually put a little video up just thanking everyone. I got loads of messages, man. I was so shocked. Got loads of messages from people in the boy, mate, we're going to get tickets. I'm definitely going to go. I was like, what? How do all these people follow me? Like, it's mad. It's mad, man. You know, like I still have that like small mindset. Not small mindset. I don't mean that I actually have a very big mindset, but I just don't realize how like people that follow me from different parts of the world and the country, and like, you know, like I still think like just like Ireland and a few people in America kind of know me and all that now, but no, like I have those people in Dubai and mad places that are like supporting me. Like some fella from bleeding South Africa texted me the other day, and I'm like mad. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's crazy, bro. I'm just getting to that stage now because I've fought on like these mad shows that like people that are not in my like country and stuff are like taking notice. Like I was in the gym yesterday sparring Devin, and they had like 1 or 2 people coming up like and talking to me and knew who I was, and even me, like I was a bit like, that's mad, they know who I am, like, you know, like, but I just don't realize that people know me really. I just, because I don't care about all that shit, you know what I mean? See all this social media and stuff, I genuinely don't care. I just want to box. I just want to take care of my family. I just want to support. I want to win a world title, accomplish my goals, and move on to other things. But it's nice when people recognize you as well. You're like, get a boost the ego a little bit. You're like, that's fucking cool, lads. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't care about all that either, you know, that way. But it's nice as well when someone rubs your ego.
You're having a bad day and someone comes over to you saying, oh yeah, I've seen you. Yeah. I can imagine it does cheer you up though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes and no. Because the thing is, you can never do anything without someone possibly knowing who you are and fucking seeing what you're doing, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's like you can't be doing shit. You can't even be real to someone, that you might get put all over social media.
Yeah, you gotta be careful now because everyone's videoing the whole.
I'm not rude anyway, you know what I mean? I'm always nice to everybody, but you know what I mean? Like there's always eyes on you. So like in a way, it's nice that it's like people might recognize you, but then in another way, it's like you couldn't even have like you couldn't even tell your kid off, for an example, in a restaurant. As some fella might be blading, taking a picture.
Compared to you from a small level, compared to like someone like Justin Bieber or Madison Beer or Leonardo DiCaprio, all these famous people. Imagine being that. It must get blooming annoying. Everyone coming over to you the whole time and videoing you when you're walking down the street.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare. Like I don't think I'd like that life. Like I'm happy that I'm a boxer and only kind of boxing fans recognize you. The thing is with boxing fans as well is they leave you to your own. You know, they're not annoying really. You know what I mean? You might, hey bro, can I get a quick picture with you? And that's it. You know, it's not like, oh, give me an autograph and all, you know, all this blatant shit. Like, I don't know how them superstars do it. Like, see, even like Tyson Fury and Joshua and like them big huge guys like who are superstars. that must be a pain in the ass. Like, oh man, I wouldn't like that life. I wouldn't like that life. I want to be rich. I want to be successful, but I want to be rich and successful behind closed doors. You know what I mean? I don't want people knowing my business too much. Whereas, like, some people love all that or think they might love all that. But I already know I wouldn't love all that. You know what I mean? I'm like, I've got to a certain bit of, like, stardom, if you want to call it that. Like, and I'm like, it's sweet. It's all good for a minute. But, like, I don't want that in my life. I don't want that in my kids' lives. You know, that way. I just want to live a normal life. You know, like, I just want to live a normal life like everybody else. And I am like everybody else. And I haven't changed. As much as I've grown and developed into a much better man than I was in my teen years. But, like, I haven't changed. I'm still that same down-to-earth guy, you know, that way. So, and I think sometimes when people become a superstar, that rubs their ego up the wrong way, and it can get in. And the ego of a man is one of the worst fucking things ever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
You mean they kind of get a bit arrogant, don't they? Kind of ride with it.
yeah, because half the time they're putting on this, like, persona of someone that they're not, like, when they're on stage and when they're on. Because I do it a little bit as well when I'm on stage, like, slagging people and whatever. I just have a buzz. I don't really care. But, like, I'd be just joking a lot of the times, just, like, deliberately rubbing people up the wrong way. But, like, I'm not really like that in real life, you know what I mean? But then you get the likes of, just using it as an example, not like being bad, but like Conor McGregor, who then starts to be like that in his normal life, and you're like, mate, are you, like, still playing that card, like, or are you actually this person now? Because the mind of a man is very fragile. So if you think you're this person, superstar, and you're this, that, and the other, it's very easy to be like, well, who am I, and who is this other person or that ego? Because it's just an ego thing, you know what I mean? And I think we all have different egos, and we all have different, like, 2 or 3 people probably in the mindset. You know what I mean? Some people who are like want to sleep on the day. Then you have someone else who is like personality wise, who was like, no, get off your fucking ass and work today, you know? And then you have someone else who is like, when you're pushing it really hard, you have, like, I have that thing in my head where I'm like, when I get tired, I'm like, stop being a pussy, push this harder. And then I have the other person who's like, please let me rest. You know what I mean? But it's like, if you don't understand those things, I understand how normal that is. But a lot of people would actually think, like, that's psychotic. Some people get signed in for that shit. But I'm able to deal with them all. And, like, you know what I mean? Whereas what I was saying about ego and about that putting on that persona of somebody, sometimes you can fall into the trap of living that life and having that personality throughout your day to day, and not just switch it on and off. Because I switch it on and off like a light switch. You know what I mean? When I'm on stage and I do my thing. But then when I'm home, I'm a family man again. You know what I mean? I'm just with my kids and my daughter and my son, and I'm a family man. But then when I'm fucking on stage, I'm like someone's worst enemy. I keep fucking annoying them and pressing all the buttons. Even my daughter now, she always goes, Jono King Kong Carroll. I just laugh, like, shut up. Like, I don't want that for my kids. I just want to be a dad for my kids. That's the most important thing. I don't want to be like this person on TV and all, like, and thinking I'm better than what I am. I'm just a regular person. I make mistakes in life. I try my best in life. You know, I'm always trying to become a better person, constantly trying to become a good person and a better person than I was yesterday. So, like, for my kids, like, I'm never going to come home and be like, oh, I'm the shit. I did won a world title.
The world title belt with the cat backwards, the world title belt.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, monkey see, monkey do. If my kids see me working hard for something and, like, have a dream and I'm accomplishing it, I'm happy if they have a dream and they want to chase their goals and dreams, because not a lot of people do that in the world today. That's why people love boxers and love, like, stars, I suppose, like in the movies and shit, because they had a dream. Even when people doubted them, they chased their dream. And not a lot of people follow their dreams, and not a lot of people think it's possible to chase the goal. You know that way? So, like, when I do it, I'm like, I'm showing a good fucking, I'm showing a good character, I suppose. I'm showing a good side of myself that hopefully my kids can see and say, do you know what? He's not just telling me to be this person. He actually done it himself. So if I want something in life, I can go and get that and accomplish that too. You know what I mean? Because monkeys, no one they say like do as I say, not as I do. I'm like, no, like, both. Do as I do as well. You know what I mean? Like, chase my goals. Like, when I have something that I want to do, I fucking chase after it. You know what I mean? I work my ass off in order to get it. So kids will always follow. Kids will always follow what they see, not what you tell them. You know what I mean? Actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, I can exactly see. I know on your Instagram story, you always put motivational things as well. I mean, you do inspire
Yeah.
quite a few people. Just one last question: have you? I know you probably haven't thought about this, but have you ever thought about life after boxing when you're not going to be stepping in the ring anymore? Like maybe starting a podcast or doing another business. You ever thought of doing anything like that? Maybe a podcast.
Of course. Every day, mate. Every day I'm looking at life after boxing. Yeah, because boxing is such a short sport. You've got a small window of opportunity. You need to make your money and then get out. But that's the problem with a lot of boxers. They only focus on boxing and they don't focus on the life that comes after boxing, you know? So for me, yeah, I always think of life after boxing. That's one of the actually main reasons why I'm moving to Dubai, is because I want to be around successful people. I want to be around visionaries. I want to be around people who want more out of life. And over there, you have a lot of people on the hustle, on the grind, you know what I mean? Want more out of life. And even when the pandemic and shit all happened, that was one of the only countries that was still going strong business-wise and kind of stayed open for business, you know what I mean? And the world took notice of that. So, like, for me personally, I want to get into property after boxing.
Oh, yeah?
I'm looking forward to getting into property, yeah. And you can refinance your mortgages and stuff every 6 months over in Dubai. So that's one thing. You can't do that shit in Spain. So that's one thing, main reason why I'm going to Dubai. And then, yeah, I have a lot of good things going for myself. I have a good head on my shoulders now, with the years and years of learning and practicing and whatever else. So I'm looking forward to business after boxing. And it won't be a podcast. It won't be, to be honest, I don't like all the social media bullshit. You know what I mean? I actually half think that it masks life. You know what I mean? It takes up so much time in your day and everything else that you should be outside living life. I want to travel the world. You know what I mean? With my family and kids, I want to travel the world. I want to be outdoors more than anything else, man. I'm a real hippie at heart. You know what I mean?
What countries do you want to go to, your family, then, after you retire? What's that?
Every country, every fucking country. Like, there's not the world is your oyster, man. Like, there's not I want to, I definitely want to see the Maldives. Like, I want to see Thailand. I want to see all these type of tropical places, you know. But mate, that's why I'm happy that boxing has given me the opportunity to see a lot of the world. You know what I mean? I travel a lot with boxing, but I want to get in a camper and drive all of America. I want to do Australia again. I want to do all these things in campers and stuff. You know what I mean? But then I want to do Thailand and stuff and traveling, and then just tropical places, man. The world is if you live in your own country, the way my mindset is anyways, you live in your own country and you only go to Spain for a holiday and come home every year you go to Spain. I don't ever want to go to the same place twice. When I go on holidays, I don't want to go to the same place where I've been before. I always want a different experience. You know what I mean? So for me, it's if you live in your own country and that's what you do, your holidays, Spain and back and Spain and back and all. That's like living in your wardrobe for your whole life. That shit ain't fun. I want to just go out and the world is my home. I don't feel like my home is Ireland anymore, as much as my hometown. But my Irish, I'll always be blood in, blood out, Irish, man. But at the same time, I'm just human. The whole world is my fucking playground, man. I'm gonna just go and travel and explore, and that's what it's all about, man. That's what living is all about: is different experiences, moments in time, you know.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. I mean, this year, my second year college, and after that, I'm done. So the world of work or university, I want to go traveling, go to America. But if you're going to go to Australia, I've been to Australia before. I went surfing there. It's really nice. The water's warm as well. Would you go shark diving in Australia?
I lived in Australia for 2 years.
Oh, really? You did? I never knew that.
Yeah, I lived in Australia for 2 years. I lived in Perth for a year. Then I went up to Margaret River for 3 or 4 months. And then I moved to Melbourne for 8 months or something like that. I lived in Melbourne as well. Yeah, I used to surf over there as well a little bit. I loved fucking Perth. I loved Perth and Margaret River more than I loved Melbourne. Wasn't mad about Melbourne. I don't like that city life type of style. But yeah, lovely place. I loved America. I loved Australia, bro.
What part of your life did you live there? Were you boxing when you were living in Australia?
I went pro over there, bro.
Really? I never knew any of
I
this.
turned over.
I
My
researched
first
you
two
loads and I
fights.
couldn't find it.
I know. My very first two fights was in Australia.
Let me check
My
that.
first, yeah. Well, I was an amateur. I quit boxing before I went over, and I went over there basically to work. I sprained my hand. I actually had a bad injury on my wrist, and I had me out of the amateurs for like nearly a year before I went. And then when I went over, it was just like I was working away, and I always got friends in the boxing club. So I just seen there was a boxing club close to where I was living. I was like, I'm gonna pop in and see. I just went there, and then I sparred one of the pros. He was training for his like third or fourth fight, and I bashed him. And the coach just said, like, would you not go pro? And I was like, it's not that easy in Ireland. Like, and he just turned me over. That's where I went pro, bro. Yeah, it was Australia.
Your first fight was in Perth, but can you remember your first opponent's name?
No.
His name was Matthew.
Yeah, what's his name?
Seddon.
Matthew Sandon. Yeah. I remember him. Yeah, he was a world champion kickboxer and all, but he had a couple of professional amateur fights or professional fights as well. But I battered him. I did. But he said to me after, he said, "Bro," he said, "I just wanted to grab you and kick you." He said, "You were so frustrating. You just kept hitting me and moving, hitting me and moving." He said, "I just wanted to grab you and kick you." I was just laughing at him. But yeah, it was a good fight. It was a fucking tough fight as well. He wasn't bad. He was tough as nails, that fella was, yeah.
And when you went to Australia, did you get an Australian accent?
No. But I did have to slow my accent down an awful lot so they could understand me though, yeah. Big time.
Oh, okay, blimey.
Yeah, big time.
I never knew you went to Australia. Next time we'll talk a bit about Australia, because I know when I researched you, I couldn't really find anything about Australia. So before I end it, you got anything you want to shout out? Instagram, Twitter, any other news or anything?
No, not really, to be honest. Just tune into my fight. It's a Pobellum card, so I've never
How can we watch it?
I don't even know, to be honest. Yeah. I think IFL TV is going to be doing it, and I don't know who's going to be the actual TV presenters, but I'm sure IFL TV is going to do it. And yeah, I only found out about this only a few days ago. You know what I mean? So for me, it's all happening so fast. Like I found out coming here. I found out about this show like a couple of weeks, no, not even weeks, like about a week and a half before. And then I got the call to come over here. So everything is just boom. I'm always training anyway for when these opportunities come up, I can just jump in and take them. But yeah, bro. So I don't know anything really yet. It only got announced yesterday. It only got confirmed and announced yesterday. So I'm still downloading all the information from it.
All right. So right now, I'll let you go on with your day in Las Vegas. I'll carry on doing my homework. Next week, I'll be at college in the rainy old England, and you'll be off to Dubai. But Jono, until next time then, mate. Thanks for your time. It's always good talking.
My pleasure, brother. God bless. Good speaking to you again.